played it. The band was great.
What happened?
I wasn't calling you a bastard behind you. We came to the States first in 1967, and we played in the city of New York at the Murray the Cape Show with Cream and Paul Simon. Had a hit with Happy Jack. And then we went down to the Monterey Pop Festival, and we played a whole bunch of stuff there. And the guy that introduced us was Eric Burton of the Animals.
Often I remember thinking I loved playing this was Magic Bus, and that's just because of the rhythm.
As seen on this channel before, it's very evident that I have a addiction, if you will, to buying band shirts and band merchandise, especially when I go to concerts. And that started all the way back, way back, well, from between like middle school and high school. So my first concert ever was Weird Al Yankovic. And I, of course, had a shirt at the time that had him from White and Nerdy like this, and it said, "Weird Al is my homeboy." But the first band shirt that I ever got, like not an individual artist, believe it or not, was actually The Who. It was back in 2009, and I was a freshman in high school. I was young and beautiful and had luscious flowing hair. And for our band trip, since I was in the marching band, we went to New York City. And in New York City, there, of course, is the Hard Rock Cafe. Now, this is the first time that I had ever been to a Hard Rock Cafe. I thought it was super cool, and I liked seeing all like the different props and instruments from different groups and bands. But the Hard Rock Cafe always has a band shirt. And the first band shirt that I ever got was the 2009-2010, well, it would have been in 2010. It was The Who. And believe it or not, at that point, you know, I was a 9th grader. I didn't really know too much about anything. And some of the older kids were telling me, you know, some of their favorite songs by The Who. So on that band trip, I was introduced to, which is still probably one of my favorite The Who songs, is Who Are You? I love that song. I love the catchy beat of Who Are You? Who. And at that point, I became a very casual listener to The Who. You know, a lot of the big hits, I started to get into things like Baba O'Reilly, I Could See for Miles, Going Mobile, Song Is Over, of course, Pinball Wizard. The Who has a pretty big list of very good songs. And as life went on, I never really had a chance to go ahead and see The Who. But for this year, I saw that they were going on a farewell tour, probably for real this time, considering both Roger and Pete are 80 and 81 respectively. And I wanted to go ahead and treat my mom before her next surgery, saying, hey, let's go see The Who on their farewell tour. And I didn't really know what to expect. Before we get into talking about The Who, I do want to do my due diligence and talk about the opener. So the opener was a woman named Leslie Mendelsohn.
Shut you out. Only wanna let you in. I don't want it.
Now, I believe that the original opener for the particular show that I was at was someone named ZZ Ward, I think. I will say that because the show got rescheduled, they probably had to replace the opener because they were probably on their own tour. And that's when this woman, Leslie Mendelsohn, was our opener with a guy named Steve. As you can see by the footage here, very nice lady, very chill, very relaxed. Definitely a hippie or maybe even a yuppie. I'm not quite sure if she was like 50s or 40s, but very chill vibe, very relaxing folk song kind of music.
I don't think we rock and roll on the radio anymore. 'Cause I love the sound of it, shaking the ground with it. Why don't they play rock and roll on the radio?
I will say that, you know, it's not quite the most bombastic opener to get you hyped for a rock show, but it was very enjoyable and very entertaining. She was very pleasant. She was very friendly. She was talking with the audience, though, with the, well, now it's the Xfinity Mobile Center. It used to be the Wells Fargo Center. You can't really have, like, audience interaction because the place is so big and you can't really hear what the audience is saying except for cheers and stuff like that. But she was talkative. She was very friendly, and the music was good. named Steve was a very renowned guitar player working on all sorts of bands and albums, over the past, 50 years, something akin to that. So, it was entertaining. I know you guys are here to hear about The Who, so let's go ahead and let's get into it.
Oh, it's great to be here. And as Roger said, sorry we were late. We got a bit sick in the early part, but I hesitate to say we're fitting well now. We're fucking old now. And if we're fitting well, it's by some kind of miracle. Back in 1993, the mayor, whoever he was then, I was on a radio show plugging a solo album. He sent me the keys of the city.
I didn't fit the lock.
Yeah, if somebody knows what you do with the keys of the city to Philadelphia, you can have them. Right, we want to know who you are.
First things first, I want to say, I am not a fan of The Who's early work, and that appears to be the case for a lot of people. During the British invasion of the 60s, we had the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, many, many other bands that came over, and The Who was one of them. But The Who didn't really hit it off with America, and I can see why. If you go back and listen to their early stuff, it kind of sounds like early Beatles, and not that that's necessarily bad, it's just not my vibe. I like more of like the 70s stuff where they got kind of weird and a little bit more experimental, and they kind of came into their own and found their own unique voice and sound. Fun fact, The Who was actually the first band to popularize the idea of breaking your shit. I believe it was Pete Townshend who did it, who was broke his guitar and stuff out of frustration that their music wasn't resonating and they weren't getting the success that other bands were at the time, which I could understand as an angry young man. You kind of feel that frustration. And they popularized breaking their own shit. Now, of course, Kiss would go on to go ahead and do it. Other bands would do it as well. But, yeah, it all started with The Who way back when. Now, of course, you're not going to have Pete Townshend going ahead and breaking shit on stage. They're old, so they don't really into that anymore. But the show itself, I got to say, was pretty fantastic. They did play a couple of songs from their older stuff, not really my vibe, but for all the songs that I do know, Who Are You, Pinball Wizard, Baba O'Reilly, another one of my favorites, Going Mobile. Ooh, I love Going Mobile. You Better, You Better, You Bet. Eminence Front, that's another one that I really, really like as well. They've had a really, really nice selection, and I gotta be honest, I think Roger sounds really, really good. I think it goes to show the skill and talent and work that these gentlemen have put in if they could still sound this good at this age. I mean, I was surprised. I was very, very surprised. So the show itself was kind of like a celebration of all the songs that were, big, big hits for them. I will say they did not play I Can See for Miles, which kind of surprised me because that's one of the songs I know that has been covered a lot over the years. I mean, it's funny how The Who kind of struggled with finding their own sound, and then they made a bunch of songs that, everybody covers, like Limp Bizkit did Behind Blue Eyes. Jimi Hendrix did I Can See for Miles. And, of course, we do have Elton John doing Pinball Wizard. So, The Who kind of developed their own sound that other people started to go ahead and borrow from, which is kind of funny.
So, we've added a few songs from The Who's next album, which you know, apart from maybe Kirkwulf, it's the most famous album we ever made, and but there are a few tracks on it that just squeezed by, and we never got to play them very much. But this is one we're really enjoying playing on this tour called "Love Ain't for Keeping."
The production was absolutely fantastic. So where we were seated, we got a nice front-facing view. We saw everything. The screens were really, really fun and entertaining, you know, with like images and like the trippy stuff that I really, really like. So it was a treat to listen to. I will say at some points in the show, I got kind of flashbanged. I was like, whoa, when it got really, really bright. So a lot of bright lights. But overall, I mean, everything was just wonderful.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be faded, to telling only lies.
Through these clips, you'll see, you know, Pete and Roger talking, addressing the audience. I gotta say, they still got a lot of piss in them. They're pretty fucking funny. There was one point in the show where Pete addressed the audience and he's like, "I'm fucking old." So they had a really, really good sense of humor about things, and they would talk about a little bit of stuff here and there. And it was nice. I really enjoy that audience interaction. You know, I like hearing stories. I like when artists and musicians talk about, you know, themselves or other experiences that they've had. And to see these two guys who have been friends their entire lives, you know, interact and have one big blowout show together was kind of sweet in a way to go ahead and see. Another part that I particularly thought was funny is there was a part for before they played Going Mobile, where Pete said that when we were recording, my brother was actually saying the song better than me, so they say. And then the audience was like, "No, ain't no way, ain't no way." And he was like, "Yes, please say that I'm better." You know, like stuff like that. It was entertaining, you know, full of life and energy and good audience interaction. Pete's brother actually did go ahead and did sing Going Mobile, but it's okay, Pete. I still think you're number one.
And we did it in one take. I think maybe a little bit of a practice, but then one take. It was a song called Going Mobile.
Yes, I love this one.
And you know, I can sing it, but we discovered recently that my brother Simon does a really much better version than I can do. He's been on the road with Roger doing solo shows, and we ran it through in rehearsals, and I went, fuck. So cool. So here we go, and you can tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. Tell me my version is better than his. When I'm home, when I wanna go home, I'm going mobile. When I'm going down, we'll see how it feels going mobile. Keep me moving.
When it comes to the song list itself, it's not really a song that I would have liked to hear. Sure, they didn't play I Could See for Miles. That's not really my favorite because that's more of the older stuff. But anything from the new stuff, you know, we absolutely got, and it just sounded great. This surprised me on how good this was. When they played Baba O'Reilly, that was like an experience with like the trippy Space Odyssey 2001 kind of woman and the visuals. It was beautiful. Like, it was very moving. Like I got emotional during it. And then towards the second part, to the end of the song, they brought out a really cool violinist who was like shredding on the violin, so she was really, really good. The production value was just great. The end, they played "Love Reign Over Me," and Roger was like screaming, dude. Like I feel the vibrations. Like you'll see with the audio clip, it's pretty loud, but it was that was very, very moving. And then we got to the end. Now, I thought they were going to end with "The Song Is Over" because the show is called "The Song Is Over." But they played that towards the end, and then the final song was "He in Theater." And it's not sad in a way where it's like sad, but it's like sad that it's over, you know? It was beautiful. It's kind of solemn and sweet, and the audience very, very much enjoyed it. And it's a cute little song, and I think it's beautiful. And it just goes to show the quality of the music, that it can still be moving no matter how many times I hear things like "Behind Blue Eyes." I still get moved emotionally, and it's beautiful.
With me. We did it all, didn't we? Jumped every wall. Instinctively, unraveled, continuously, while all the roads so seamlessly we made work.
Go ahead and let's get into the merchandise here. So I got the Who shirt. Now, I was at the Philadelphia show. Now, the date was wrong. The date of my show was actually September because they got sick and had to move the tour date back. But here's the tour shirt for Philly. There's no dates on the back, but there's a date on the front for the show, though it is the wrong date. Now, by the time this video goes out, I'm pretty sure that the North American leg of the tour is over. So, like, sorry. If you hadn't had a chance to see the Who, maybe try to find like a full video of the concert. It was pretty good, and I'll of course upload my clips in their entirety once I get this video out as well. And while it is a shame that the Who is officially done, I think it's more so a celebration, a celebration of their life and the music that they've made. And it's there's nothing wrong with that. All good things come to an end, whether it's movies, video games, TV shows. I really don't have much else to say. It was a true joy, and I'm glad that I took the plunge to go ahead and see, because I was kind of iffy at first. I'm like, oh, I don't know how they're going to sound. I'm not sure if they're going to be good. And they rocked it and knocked my fucking socks off, I got to tell you. Well, thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
The song is over. It's all behind me. What lies ahead now? I hope it finds me.